start with a word of prayer. Lord, I pray for this council meeting tonight. Pray that you give us council members wisdom and guidance as we deliberate on the items before us. And may every decision be righteous in your sight for our benefit and for your glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Join me in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to accept the agenda with flexibility.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And we're at the top. Town council annexation. You get any updates on
I
that?
got an email from Grady today. He's still waiting from his corporate on that.
So close, yet so
They have
far.
I've given everything they requested, so we're just waiting on them.
Next up, and I know we don't have them, but just of note, I don't know how this dropped off the agenda, but we should be approving past memoranda at our meetings, and we have not been. Open bids for 2016 Ram truck. 2019? It says Ram truck, 2016
What's
Ram
wrong?
truck. The 2019 Durango. We will not be opening a Ram truck.
2016
Yes.
Unless you have some for that.
Is in the safe, so.
I think it's in the same.
We did not receive any online. That's easy.
He said he's going.
There's one in the safe.
One?
Well, we got one bid.
That makes it easy, I guess. If it's-
Or not.
if-
Unless you don't want to approve it, I mean.
I mean, what are you
it's
gonna
not
do
enough
with it
money.
if nobody wants
Yeah.
it?
Did we have a minimum?
How much is scrap?
I don't think you
There wasn't a
We
minimum on
don't
it?
usually put a minimum on it. We talked
We
about it.
did.
So if it's $1. We don't have to.
We don't have to accept
No,
it.
you don't accept.
Oh, there's
Two.
two.
Another one came
Ooh.
in then.
Now we're moving up.
Amos Yoder, Middlebury, Indiana, $2,700.
Wow.
Marcus Esch, $11,776.
I'm gonna pass it on.
There's no need to pass that one on. Do we know the approximate value?
1,200.
It was higher than that. But once again, that's fair. Please,
Use.
that's KB.
Works for me. You need to see it.
How does this work again? We tell them they're approved, or like that we accepted their bid, and then they have so much time to pay, or how does that work?
We call them and they come and pay for it.
Okay. And if they don't pay for it, then it goes, then we
Or
reopen it, or,
however you want to
okay,
get rid of it.
okay.
All right, we need a motion to accept this.
I make a motion to accept the bid from Marcus Esch for $11,776 for the 2019 Durango,
Subject to it being paid. for
subject
before.
to it being paid for before release.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? I had that back down. Easy. Police department policy change. This is something, those of us that were at the budget meeting talked about. One of the ways to, maybe make it easier to attract talent without raising the rates a lot would be changing a few policies. One of them is the call out policy that they have right now. And it's my understanding nobody else does call outs in the county. And if we remove the call out policy, then we wouldn't really have need of telling them they have to live within 15 miles. We could expand that radius out.
Call out policies like being on call.
Being on call, sitting at home for the day or the weekend or whatever, and not being able to.
And that call out policy allows them to take a vehicle home, or
To take a vehicle home anyway.
so what's the proximity for vehicle take home? Do you have a
60 mile personal use.
60 mile?
The county's got people living in other counties, other states, working for the county. The Fort Wayne City Department, they live up here in LaGrange County and work in Fort Wayne City and bring their cars home. I mean, it varies.
We're just looking at a way to maybe make it a little more attractive without, matching the state troopers.
Here we go again with the state.
Although I do like their new Mustang.
Get me started on that.
That's pretty cool.
I can't buy one. I don't feel like my tax money should let them drive one. Just saying.
If there is a call out, is there a certain group that would be called out, or is it up to the marshal? or-
We have a rotation. 1 week, let's say, first of the month would be me. And we would just, if we have no coverage, that person would be responsible for call, when it rotates. I think currently we have every 2 weeks, because we only have 3 of us right now.
Normally, if nobody's working, the county sends somebody
county.
over.
Right.
That happens.
Have you ever had to use call outs before?
Yeah, but our policy right now is that you can't leave your home. You're not compensated for staying at home. Or if you do, right, you can come to town, but you have to take your vehicle, your vest, your gun, take all of your stuff with you, just in case the page goes off. But you can't go to Middlebury, you can't go to Topeka, you can't go to those kind of things. Because you're responsible. You respond.
Oh,
Respond
that's probably an SOP. Yeah. When's the last time you had to call out?
And myself was probably about a month ago. They called me out to take care of the county's been helping us out tremendously.
So by the end of December, we'll have full coverage again, and call outs shouldn't even be an issue at that point, but.
In full disclosure, I've been the recipient of needing a call out. And so I guess my question is like, at any point there's something that happens, like how close is the nearest officer? Not you guys. How close is the nearest officer that could get to someone?
We just don't.
So like, but someone would be in the county.
Yes.
Okay, so there would be someone.
At least
Within-
two officers would be-
Okay,
It was
Okay.
12 minutes last night. for me.
okay.
Hmm.
And I in full disclosure too, I've also been the recipient of having to stay in my, car, in a squad car for Thanksgiving, spending the time in a driveway. So I get that as well.
So, but yeah,
Here's the thing. I think this call out policy should go by the wayside.
Okay.
Okay. I get called at home and I gotta go. I'm not on a call out policy, but when they call me, I have to go. Now I may not be home. I may be in Fort Wayne, okay, on personal, And then if not, then they'll call the next person.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no, you know what I mean, where you have to be around. You know what I mean? And I don't see why we couldn't do that
Mm.
with them.
Yeah.
If crap's hitting the fan,
Right.
we're gonna call Brandon. Hopefully Brandon's home. You know what I mean? And Brandon comes. You know what I mean? But as far as putting them on a policy, this current policy of them having to stick around, I think that's old fashioned, and then it should go by the wayside.
And then that relieves the issue of forcing them to live within 15 miles because they don't have a call out policy.
Mhm.
Are these in SOPs? Call out's not in the SOP.
It's just a policy,
Um,
not an
Something
SOP.
that Previous administrators have said this is what you're doing.
It's not, okay, and then it's not in the employee handbook then either. What about the radius for,
Yes.
Residential.
That is an SOP.
okay, so that would need to be changed.
And that's at 15 miles.
Used to be 2, now it's 15.
It did used to be 2. We also used
Do
to
you
have
have
only
a
2
proposal on
officers.
that?
Double it, 30, 45?
I mean,
They like County, adjacent counties. Yeah, that's what I was
Adjacent counties.
Not Michigan, obviously.
Not
Yeah.
Is there legal purposes, like, can you not respond in another state?
Well, they can't go lights and sirens in Michigan, right?
So like,
We have no legal jurisdiction in Michigan.
okay,
They'd have to drive like
So
a
they would
normal
have to drive-
citizen
okay.
in Michigan.
So they wouldn't be able to
They
take
don't
a
have
car
police
home
powers
necessarily in Michigan.
well,
Can they-
You'd have police power, wouldn't you?
on a
Not in
pursuit.
Michigan.
On a
Not in
pursuit.
Michigan.
right.
Only on a pursuit, hot pursuit.
Elkhart County allows their officers to live in Michigan. They have take-home vehicles.
Sheriff's Department has an officer who lives in Michigan. We allow officers to drive personally in Michigan because it's right there.
Yep.
But you can't do anything. Yeah, you don't have any arrest powers or anything in the state of Michigan.
That all comes from the academy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Stuff stops in the state.
So is that why you won't allow anyone to live in Michigan, or is there like,
It'd be preferred, but
Right.
I mean. say-
I mean, if-
because I mean, that's, you know,
So
7
if
miles
they live
away,
in
so like,
Sturgis
right,
and they get a call and it's an emergency, in theory, they're not
Drive
supposed to
speed.
go, they're gonna drive
Right.
55
but
miles
if
an
we're
hour
not
until they
doing
get
a
out of
call
Michigan.
out, if we're not doing call outs
Yeah.
anymore, then why can't you live in White Pigeon? Or why can't you live in Sturgis?
Other than the slow getting there.
It would just add that extra time.
Yeah,
You're already 20 minutes. I mean, it takes me 20 minutes to get to Three Rivers.
mhm,
You add that extra time. We already have that extra time. You take that extra 10, 15 minutes of whatever before
mhm,
you get to the state line.
and then you
Then
can
you
go,
run.
yeah,
Really, lights and sirens doesn't add that much
No.
of an advantage. A
mhm,
couple of seconds. Yeah. It might add an extra minute
mhm,
or take away a minute. So I think it's possible we could.
mhm.
It's-
I guess, I mean,
Whatever-
if you have a good
whatever-
officer living in Three Rivers, I'd rather have that than not have
To
one,
answer your
you know?
question, there's no legal reason why
Okay.
they can't. I think the practical reason has been because they can't do anything and they
Mhm.
have to drive slow.
Mhm, mhm.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, I know the academy did not like when we had a reserve, Steve Van Moore. He was from Ohio, but they said we couldn't have him. I wasn't privy to all those conversations because that was when I was here. So I have to look into that also.
I don't know what that was either.
So is this just a change on his part or is this a motion?
It would have to be a motion, I would think, yeah.
Not the only change.
Good. I don't wanna muddy this, but can we get somebody from Sturgis, can we do a certain mile from Shipshewana or Elkhart County?
You absolutely can. I think, I don't remember what it says exactly, but for instance, you could say within 30 miles of the town of Shipshewana and then have, but not whatever, or
Or within 5 miles of the state line,
you can
like
do anything.
of the
like
Michigan
that,
state
yeah.
line, you know, because 5 miles to get here is nothing.
But we're just looking to change the policy about What exactly right now? Because I'm confused. on
Both the call outs and the distance.
it. And the distance.
It sounds like, from what I'm hearing, the call outs are just an internal policy that's a practice procedure, if you want to call it more it's not an SOP. It sounds like it's not in your manual, but it does sound like your radius is an
Yes,
SOP
yeah.
that would need changed. So I think if you just approve of the whole thing in whatever way you want, then the relevant pieces can be fixed. We can, with their help, fix the SOPs if they want us to help, and they can fix their own internal. I don't think there's an employee manual issued to my knowledge. We'll check, but I don't think so.
How do you feel, Nick, if you had a sworn officer, not reserved, but a full-time officer living in Michigan?
See an issue with it, but once again, I have to probably do my research with the cat, because I think we have this.
So if we go with something tonight as far as surrounding counties, excluding Michigan, based on waiting on your communication with ILEA. So right now it would be Elkhart, Noble, Steuben. And call off policy is null and void, scrapped.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
I thought it sounded like.
Let's quit kicking this one around. All right, I have a motion. A second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Goodness. Tad's got to write a journal over there for that one.
Adjoining counties in Indiana. Is what
Correct.
you're saying. Okay.
But he's gonna have a chit chat with ILEA. So until that happens, Michigan is out of it.
All right, we got that one.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, this is taking forever. I want to go home and eat dinner.
It'll be tomorrow.
Fifth
breakfast, maybe.
district.
Well, you can talk about that because we've had our exchange.
Yeah,
and you know
well,
what's up.
So one of the other things that came out of our budget discussion was getting at least one new TIF district set up so that we can make some beneficial moves on that. And the one at the top of the list was the gas station area over at 5 and 20. And that's spending money, and so it needs approval. But then there were a couple other places, and I haven't heard from Greg on whether or not he thought those places were good, like the new ENS.
He said no.
He said
said
no.
He said no because we missed it.
Oh, we did miss that one. Okay.
Isn't that the one he said? I'm pretty sure that's one because of
Date?
yeah, the assessed
The base? You
value.
already looked at the base?
The assessed
Oh.
value's already gone up, so he said we wouldn't capture the new.
Okay. So 5 and 20.
Well, it relates back as long as.
That's what he
Contrary.
that's what he
Just wanna
thought,
make sure.
but he was
If
going
we
off
get it
of
done
what
by
we looked up. real
December
quick.
31 of 26, it goes back to January 1 of 26. So as long as he's saying that's the case, but I thought
January
you said it
1.
wasn't. built.
I thought it wasn't built yet. We didn't have anything going up, did we?
We just did a quick search on Beacon and
Right.
picked a date that they gave us.
I guess we have
That's-
to decide.
so you'd have to look.
Right.
I
It
don't-
does relate back though, just so you know, you get 12 months back. Well, 11 months and 30 days or whatever.
So-
it is.
But we can make a motion to move forward
Yeah,
on
authorize the,
definitely 5 and 20 and
you can authorize all of them if you
Yeah.
want, subject to, but
whatever else we
'cause
learn on the other
the
ones,
parties
right?
still have to get together and
Yeah.
we'll have to have maps from Casey and legal descriptions and Greg's gonna have to put together the plan, the capital improvement plan that goes along with that. Since I don't know what,
I thought we had a TIF map somewhere that we worked on not that long ago.
There
I'll
was
dig
one.
through my papers.
so yeah, we have to have maps and plans and drawings and of the actual areas that you want that can be adopted in the declaratory resolution before December 31 of 2026. And part of that, at some point, we have to have an economic development plan put together by Greg. So there's lots of stuff to do and a tax impact statement and yada yada. So, yes.
Only 4 months.
Well, only thing that's got to be done by then is his maps and my resolution.
Is that open ground between the two ever possibility for development, or are you never gonna sell that?
Where's that at?
It's no.
Give me some orientation here. I'm like really,
While they're looking and getting.
Yeah.
Five and
I think
20
it's
at
in
the
probate.
bottom.
okay,
This is 5 and 20.
going north.
Dollar store. ENS.
Casey.
New, ENS old.
Casey, I think that's in
Okay.
probate. I think it's in
Nelson.
probate
Yeah, they were Jeff Nelson's
currently.
Yeah, are in there. Okay,
right there.
okay.
So ENS old almost doesn't make sense. Does it?
Not if it's not gonna grow substantial. It's expensive.
Do you still need
The
bigger
old
map?
area.
No, I'm good. Thank you though.
I guess that's a discussion we could have further, but 5 and 20 definitely. New ENS if we can get that.
January 29th, 2026, Beacon says new construction, incomplete structure evaluation went up 2.2 million in improvements. So would we be able to capture
We
that?
should, if January 1 is our date, if we go back to January 1 and it wasn't on there,
It says
we'll capture
January
all of
29th.
yeah.
So prior to that, so
As long as when we go to the county and you talk to the auditor's office, as long as January 1, that number wasn't on,
Yeah.
we capture that number.
Okay.
As our base.
that's about 1.9.
But that is a
Increase.
Greg question. We are not capable of making that decision.
Okay.
But we do need a motion to move forward.
'Cause you're gonna-
Unless I'm the only one that wants to.
I just remember
Make some
Greg
money when it's over.
telling us no more TIF districts because it was hurting the general, but as long as he's on board,
Well, he's the one that told us to do it.
which is great, but you probably know as well as I do.
Yeah.
I've heard you preach to us over the years, no more TIF districts because we're eating into the general fund.
Yes, yeah.
So this was surprising. So, okay, good.
I don't know even what to make a
I
motion.
mean,
I don't know
set
what
me
the
up,
words are,
somebody.
so. someone get that.
Sorry.
Like,
Okay.
2 weeks ago, you would have said no,
Me?
and now, yeah. To the tip.
I personally would never say no to them. I love them because it allows you to capture that increment away from the school and it allows you to isolate it for economic
I'm
development.
sorry, Charlie would have said no, I got that wrong.
Okay, that's-
What, is that correct? Charlie said, we don't want to do tips?
No.
No, before any of that
Budget
was
meeting.
developed. Several years ago.
Sorry.
Several years ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm old. It's been
Like maybe a decade ago. I don't know. Is it that long ago?
maybe.
Greg said no,
No
more
more TIFs.
TIF districts because it's you have to spend the money in the TIF that you collect there, and it was making the general fund short.
He did. But you're right. It could be that long.
But then
So why?
some of our TIFs are falling off, right?
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. And which is why my email to you was, we don't want to amend the current one because it's going to end.
Right.
We want to create new
We
ones.
want a new one.
So what about like like what about Barber Street? Is that not a
Good point.
Barber Street
But
extended?
it
that not
has to be inside the town, right?
Yes.
Through the city limits, and that's,
Not
that's,
that.
It's not-
So it's not yet, but if that project would go
then that would be
through,
important to have.
then using that TIF would help pay for the infrastructure.
Okay.
Or you might create a new TIF.
So to
Yeah,
not,
because I think he said you can have multiples.
Yeah.
I don't want to mislead you. You're right, Nick. I'm grabbing onto institutional knowledge, which is always dangerous. I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
if somebody has
Yeah.
asked Greg this question.
Why now?
is he-
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, the one thing I'm gonna interject too as it relates to public infrastructure, the 5 and 20, that makes sense other than all of those parcels may already have water. I think they have sanitary. Of course, they don't need roads along the state route, so if we build those funds up, we gotta figure out what we're gonna spend the money on.
That's
Yeah,
what I was.
There's no nothing to spend on there really.
That's
other
what I
than-
was concerned about. there.
Now, that one parcel east of Dollar General, that one, but I think that's in a low area.
Yeah, that's
And okay, so and I get confused with the TIF. Like, can we use because it's or is it connected like the Berkshire roads and stuff like that? No.
Not
So like we
You have
can't.
to use it within the TIF, right?
Okay.
Yeah, the only way you can go outside of the TIF,
You can't.
what?
You can't anymore. Unless
Not even with
the
connecting?
RDA is on the contract, right?
Right, you have to assign, that's what I was gonna say, the only way you can do it is you have to assign the contract from, to the RDC, and you have to use a redevelopment authority, which we have, fortunately. Most towns do not, so we're very fortunate in that way. So you have to finagle legally to get it done, but it is a lot harder to spend it physically outside the TIF than what it used to be. But once again, for instance, let's use a sewer line. If a sewer line has to go through your allocation area, then it is in and serving that allocation area, and so it still can be spent on it, and it can then be spent on the treatment plant too, because part of the treatment plant is physically connected to and is serving that particular area. What you
Like a
have
lift
to
station.
shy away from is, let's say there's a cul-de-sac over here in a residential development area. You don't want to spend money over, there's no good way to do that, for instance, if it's not, number one, it's residential, number two, it's not in the TIF, and it's even assigning the contract for a local public improvement doesn't work, so.
And what about west of 5?
That's all in the county.
That's
Oh,
gonna
that's all county.
That's a count, that pink, white.
Doesn't
That's
the county
county
have a
TIF.
County
TIF? Yeah,
TIF.
yeah.
and they've already assigned all that money, thanks to Terry, to your treatment plan, they're just ready for you to bill them for that. Every meeting they ask, when do you? want
We're
your
working on, we,
Yeah, we're meeting tomorrow on
we're
that.
meeting tomorrow on it, so, yeah.
They've assigned everything to you on that.
Was there
Yeah.
a point in time with TIF money that you could use it for emergency services at
You
all?
can for us, police and fire, and the great thing is, they've actually changed the law recently, which the police and fire will love. You can actually spend it on operating costs for police and fire, which you could never do before. So they've very much expanded the use of police and fire in that area.
So that would help the general
So,
fund.
but you can't, like the fire station's out here, and I don't know where this is exactly.
Does it have,
You go there, are you physically there?
does it have to, the fire station have to be there, or is it just coverage area?
It's gotta, yeah, it's gotta serve, inner serve.
One way, if there was a proposed user that was gonna go on the other side of the intersection, and they needed water and sewer, and you were for the development, if you were, you could annex that, include that in the TIF, use the money from that area as well as the other area to get utilities across the road.
Yep.
The key is what utilities they need and what benefit, like the Fargo Road extended, that we need money for the road, the water and the sewer that we're trying to do. Or in this case, I think, I'm not saying it's not a good idea, I think it's identifying any of those parcels that can use money on public infrastructure.
We want to see if we can get Greg to jump on a call with us at the next meeting and give us his 2 cents on why he thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Can we try?
I'm better with that.
Me too.
All right, we'll table that until the next one.
That was close.
Well, I
job.
hope I didn't stop a boulder going downhill, but I'm just curious.
No, the good thing, Nick, don't feel bad because there's no rush. Casey doesn't have anything to do, so we can tell him to dry these maps up anytime he wants, so I'm teasing.
Like, just looking for something to do tomorrow morning.
But really, we can pull this off with a couple weeks delay. It's not, if this was November 4th, I would say, yeah, we're in trouble. We're still in August. It's hard to believe.
Well, we'd rather get it right.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why there's 5 of us. We can ask all those questions. Okay. Last one we're gonna table for right now. 1.6.
Okay.
We'll give that a month. Nick, what you got?
Monthly reports for the month of July. As you can see, some of the calls are down compared to last month. We have a lot more open doors. We have Ben out here covering some of the night shifts, so he's been doing a lot of business checks, finding a bunch of open doors. Sounds like we've had a couple calls from some of the business owners not realizing we do that, and it seems like they're pretty appreciative of it. With him being out, he's helping the county a lot, helping them on calls. It's like people have locked themselves out a lot more this month. We definitely got more. Honestly, traffic stops are not more, but guys are out patrolling more, and they're getting a different type of traffic violations, and it's like a lot more license violations more than anything else. And our extra patrols are down, but with school starting, we'll be able to pick those back up. Just started yesterday, so we're gonna be out there at the school a lot more often. Some questions?
Look at all those building checks.
Yeah.
Start checking my house.
Yeah, me too.
Especially when he's home, just gonna be on the door.
Thank you.
Second thing I have is getting approval to get laptops. Right now, we currently have rugged tablets, and the price for a rugged tablet is substantially more, and that's not including a kickstand and a keyboard. And I want to upgrade her to our laptop, so if our guys go to training, they'll be able to have everything they need versus having to buy the extra accessories for a laptop. And I reached out to G-Tech, is the company I reached out to, and they sent me, a lady reached out to me from MPS, Midwest Public Safety, and she sent me a quote for 2 G-Tech S510s, and that's the laptop, the docking station, and the charging cable, and it was a total of $79.78 and 52 cents. And I would like to take that out of the public safety, the police supplies, and minor equipment. We have a couple of tablets that were here when Seamus was here that are currently still usable.
They're currently being used.
Yeah, we have 2.
They're in reserve.
Yeah.
We have in my inventory, I have a product cycle life, and to maintain things going, instead of having to buy 4 or 5 units all at one time, being a big burden to the budget, we plan for the police department to be changing computers at least 2 units per year.
And that was one of the first ones I tested when Seamus was here, and that was during COVID. And it's getting kind of old. So
You said this isn't rugged?
it is rugged.
It is rugged.
Yep, it is rugged. I believe it says it on there. It'll have the triple pass through with antenna stuff, so it's helps bend it out. Trying to get the cell phone service we have to run our Spillman and other.
3-year limited warranty.
So these are for the vehicles?
Yep.
And you're swapping out 2?
Yep.
Who's getting them?
Be Brian and Brandon.
What do we usually do with the old ones then, you said?
As they age out, we'll keep a couple of them as spares, and then when they get to a certain point, we'll put them up for surplus. Either auction them off or just dispose of them, depending on what's going on.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm good.
I make a motion to approve the quote to G-Tech for $7,978.52.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unopposed? Easy.
Very much it's all right.
Finally. It's your turn. Long night, hadn't it?
July, we had 68 incidents, matching last year in July. 8 fire, 38 EMS, 4 no emergencies, 12 public service, and 5 hazmat. Again, our wonderful reporting system does traffic accidents as hazmats if no one's hurt, so makes me crazy, but what do I do? Year to date, we're still up 20 calls from last year. Response time for July was a little more normal and acceptable, 11 minutes and 31 seconds. Any questions on these? Update on 26 Superior Diesel, I believe they're called, out of Middlebury. One of the guys on the department does a lot of heavy truck repair stuff, and he takes his stuff there. I talked to the guy for probably half an hour last week and a half ago. He sounded really confident in their abilities to get it fixed for us. They're willing to do the insurance process. So it is scheduled to go over there imminently, hopefully tomorrow or Friday, and trying to get that fixed up. The insurance did come back with an approved quote. They said that it is subject to the mechanic looking at it and finding the rest of it, because they missed half of it. So, yeah. They did send an email on that it maybe end up getting totaled. I kind of doubt it. From what I can see from the damage, we have a long way to go from a total truck. I can see them maybe surplusing the chassis and putting a new chassis on it before, but replacing the whole body is, I don't think that's going to happen, and I would rather not. I would like to steer away from that for a couple reasons. Spartan doesn't make tanks like that anymore, and the tank, in my professional opinion, is fine. Everything except the chassis and the engine stuff is fine. So remounting it onto a different truck would be my thing before totaling it. But it'll be up to the insurance ultimately what they want to do. But hopefully we can get that tank if we have to go there. I feel very confident in the shop's ability to do what's right by it and have a good, dependable truck for many years to come. Any questions on that?
Is it bent?
The frame, passenger side frame rail is not straight anymore, but the front axle shifted a little bit, so I'm thinking it might be just under a lot of stress from it not being lined up anymore. Mechanic agreed that they'll loosen everything up and let it, relax back to normal, and yeah, then we'll go from there. There's a local shop in Middlebury as well that they have the ability to replace whole frame rails or straighten them up or stuff like that. So if we have to go that route, it's still not enough to, on a heavy truck like that, they don't total it because the frame's bent, they just replace it. So it's a little different than a passenger car where the wheels don't line up and it's totaled. This, they'll fix it because of the sheer price of the truck. It's just the chassis. Assistant Chief Nate took the liberty to get a quote for one. You want to guess how much it is?
No, thrill me.
$190,000 just for the chassis.
Nice.
That's why I believe we have a long way to go that we can still repair this truck, and I'll be satisfied with the results that they can give us.
I know, right?
That doesn't count any. That's just the
You thought cop stuff was expensive.
Is there an AED in the building?
Yes, there is.
Anybody
And a few people know how to operate it.
When I saw that quote, we should definitely, or I didn't say we should fix it, but it's appearing that we should be able to fix it well under that budget. But we'll find out more. Hopefully in 2 weeks I'll have good news on that. So, yes. Any other questions?
Thank
you. Got one other thing. If we have to, and I don't know what all this encompasses, it's sort of a broad spectrum approval. If we get to a point with tanker 26 where we need to have something signed or authorized within reason, I'm asking for approval for Madam President to sign or authorize those repairs outside of a regular council meeting.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Fastest motion we've made all night. Everybody else is getting hungry too. All right, where are we at?
Yeah, I got someone going, we got the invoice for the cleaning of the alley out here, the storm drain that they were dumping stuff down in.
Oh, yeah.
Nick took the bill out to him today and dropped it off. The bill was for $2,666.15 that they're gonna pay for. So that was given to them today. We had another bill, just a little over $1,000 for the work they did on the town on some other projects we had while the truck was up there, might as well go ahead and use them. So we got that taken care of today. Next is the water tower repairs. We had the towers looked at, and I got Jackson here if you guys got any questions or anything, but the one tower, the south tank, is the most expensive one. It's an anti-climb device on the exterior ladder about 15 feet above grade. And I believe that's one that's a OSHA requirement.
A OSHA requirement for the companies that come and inspect it, which makes it an IDEC requirement for us, so that way it is provided for them. So.
So that's something we really have to do on both of them. And the second part of that south tower is it's a mixer unit. It keeps the tower from freezing during the winter. Right now, the one there's that doesn't work.
We don't have South Tower, we do
What number am I on here? Do I not
The
have
email.
It's email.
It should be, I think it was an email.
Yeah, an email.
So, and that, the total price for both those items is, $30,390.25. That's the south tower.
This is their recommendations, or this is to bring us into compliance?
which part?
The 30,000, I guess.
So the anti-climb is, that would be, just for that alone is, $9,545.50 just for the climb, but it needs it on both towers. So this price includes the, anti-climb and the, mixer for $30,390.
I don't see that.
I'm still not finding it on that pad.
Yeah. Did you send us that? I mean, I see where you've got they've
Yeah, I
had
sent it-
inspected,
Yeah,
and I see
it should be in,
that bill.
I should have sent it in the email to you. You wanna look at them here? You know, we haven't had a mixer out in the south tower, and I don't know if it's frozen. It's got ice in it.
It is had ice. It was found from McDonald, the last company that inspected, not this.
Yeah.
This time. We have a vent ladder in there, which tells me we've had ice.
Ice has been in there and
Yeah.
messed it up, and it's a lot. It's gonna be very expensive if we have to thaw it out. So
Not gonna go out
I-
there with a
who
blow
knows?
dryer on that, are you?
No, I don't know. I don't know what the winters are gonna be like. You just never know anymore. So
So you got 30,000 and change on one and 9,000 on the
So
other.
there's
40,000.
40,000.
So, yeah, so it's 30,000 is on the south tower,
yeah,
9,000 on the north.
north tower.
Has this been caught before during the inspection, or how often? do we
Well, it
inspect?
was 3 years ago. Dixon came and inspected them, and they said something similar to that, but at the time we decided not to do anything. So. At the time, Matt wasn't in charge. It was another operator, and Matt certified, and things changed a little bit.
So with the anti-climb, that prevents somebody could climb up there right now. You're saying?
They get through the fence, the chain link fence. Yeah, they can go right up.
You gonna do it?
No. You see stuff like that where they,
They go up there and
spray
write
paint.
stuff,
and-
spray paint. Yeah.
Sounds like a high school kid, right?
It does.
And John Deere.
There you go.
The fences around there, they
They are
barbed wire.
They are barbed wired around the top. I believe there's 3 or 4 rows around the top.
I'm not a research purpose, but I'm just trying to figure out why it wouldn't have been done before. So
I think part of the reason is the cost. And then we got them, the towers are secured to a
Sure.
certain point, but, and you know, reference conversation earlier, you know, the money's, might be an issue too. I don't know if you guys want to do that now, or you want to wait till.
are you gonna do?
I think the
Partial
answer,
on
you know,
Questions, do we have any? This would come out of the water department.
yeah.
What's your thoughts on it? Get it done?
I think we should have got it done last time, but, especially,
Well, then fine. Then I make a motion then to have McGuire fix, repair, upgrade the north and south tower for a grand total of $39,935.75.
I'm gonna second that motion.
There you go. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the motion?
Yeah, just, that's, what happens if we don't? It freezes,
it freezes, and if you're gonna have an additional cost to thaw it out. And if somebody gets in there and climbs up, you got the liability if they get hurt or fall or something like that, so.
we would have liability for them climbing our.
Yep.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
believe it or not, because it didn't have that, anti-climbing device on there.
And that would suffice.
Yeah.
Code or.
That's
a
what,
lawsuit.
according to item, that's what it makes to keep them going up there.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'll have, Chris sign these. The next thing, I'm gonna skip Bennett real quick, but, so I got these two guys here, over time, I'm gonna get them through and out, but, the next one is, for the wastewater treatment plant. We have, a couple trucks down there and they have bumper cranes on them, and, the cranes aren't big enough to haul out the new lift station pumps we put in. So right now, if something happens, we have to bring somebody in to pull them out for us. So this is a quote for two of them. I mean, I don't speak for Jake, but I don't know if we could buy one now and maybe one later. I don't know. That's why I had him here tonight to explain it.
Yeah, I'll come up and explain it.
So, in the capital improvement plan, we had, set aside 43,000 for crane replacement on one truck, because that was the quote we received at the time. After I looked into it a little further, I found this company out of Huntertown who's willing to do both trucks for 27,840. So the previous company said we had to change our whole bed and that our current beds wouldn't support a crane. This company is going to modify our current beds to support a crane and install a crane. And that price, like I said, is for both trucks compared to the 43,000.
And that takes care of lift station issues, or would be able to hoist?
Yeah, it would be able to pull any pump that we have in town. Currently, one lift station has pumps bigger than our cranes are rated for. So,
And what's that cost if we bring someone in typically?
the last invoice I saw was $2,000 to pull a pump,
Oh,
just for them to come out for about an hour.
1 year we spent well over 10,000.
The thing now,
I think just prior to Jake.
we have guys that are certified running departments now, and then they can do a lot of the stuff in house themselves instead of farming it out.
sure.
They need the tools to do it.
Speaking of tools, we have a garage to put these in?
Yeah, so they're making progress on the maintenance building.
You know,
You will.
you will.
You will.
Yeah, they got the roof on this week, and then they got the garage doors installed today. So if I jump the curb, I can get the truck.
You can get there.
And Jake's he's been watching out there pretty close for us, doing a good job keeping track of stuff. They did some damage to the maintenance building. He caught that and they replaced it. They were just going to fix a couple things, and he said, no, him and DLZ out there, Christine said, no, you're going to replace everything. So, and he's making sure stuff's getting done out there right. So,
Thank
In this bid here, is it a 2019 and a 2023?
So we have two trucks at the wastewater plant. One's a 2019, one's a 2023. So this quote's to do both of them.
And those trucks are gonna last us a while? I mean,
Or would
You
they
know-
be able to be moved?
So
right.
the cranes currently are hand-me-down cranes off of the trucks prior. So the manufacturer of those cranes no longer in business, so getting parts for those are kind of scarce.
So if we replace the 2019, we'd be able to.
You could probably move the
hand-me-down
bed
them.
onto a different
Okay.
chassis
Yeah.
if it's in good enough shape.
And both of these trucks are,
Yeah.
I mean, we're not gonna need to replace these trucks anytime soon.
No, not. I don't see them getting replaced within maybe the 19 after it's 20 years old, maybe.
Especially when they're gonna have a building out to store these things in, they're gonna be out of the weather and everything. Currently, they set out all year round, so, but with the maintenance building, a lot of stuff kept inside.
I think the 2019 has roughly 30,000 miles on it, and the 2023 has about 14,000.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I make a motion to accept this crane bid for $27,840.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'm gonna let you know about the generator. I might as well just stay up there. The generator broke on us and, we got a quote to get it fixed, but we also got information that might be covered under insurance. So we're working on that right now. So, I think we're just gonna wait and see. But the quote for that's $22,342.88. We rented one when it broke down. What did we spend? 11,000 for that?
We rented two
Two.
because we weren't going to be able to move them around, and that was $11,000 for 36 hours.
So what generator?
The portable trailer generator.
Okay.
The big one for the
Is
lift
this the one
stations.
that we got when we went with the power outage?
Yes, when
Is
we had
that
the
the
power
one?
outage, yeah,
Okay.
we had it out at the lift station to keep the
Mhm.
poop flowing.
Like, yeah, the
Oh.
huge power outage when like all
Yeah.
of Shipshewana was just
Yeah.
gone. Okay.
Because if it doesn't work, everything backs up. I don't think you guys are gonna like that.
So it just went out recently, just sitting.
No,
So-
there was
last
a couple-
storm.
Oh,
No, I mean the
June,
generator.
that big storm.
Yeah.
We lost power throughout the whole town, and we were taking it station to station, pumping them down because
Yeah.
people still had water, so they were still using the bathroom and shower. They might not have had hot water, but they're still using it. And the fuel pump went out,
Oh.
causing damage to the engine. The fuel pump's been replaced, but it's still showing signs of damage.
Here's that loud. We'll look at that. We're hoping the insurance. When we met with the insurance company the other day, they mentioned that to us that this might be a possibility of paying for that or portion of it and that. So
Is this the only generator that we have?
Yes, the only portable. There's
Big
only a handful of stations that have stationary generators.
Right.
But the rest of them we have to drive around to when they're without power.
So if we lose power tonight, in the next 3 days, you're gonna have to spend another 11 grand.
No,
And, you know,
currently it's back in service, but it's
Oh,
on its way out.
we
This
gotta get it
generator.
fixed. Yeah, that's the fix it.
Okay.
but you can use it.
We can use it for
Wow.
how long?
Until we can't use
until
it.
we can't. How long it's
The
gonna last?
failure caused damage to the engine. So now that's a quote to replace it. To
Okay.
fix it.
So we're just waiting on insurance on it.
Yeah, next storm we could use it for. It may work and it may go halfway through and we're done again. So I don't know. I don't know how bad the damage is on the engine. They tell you how bad it was, or
So before the fuel pump went out,
I'm just letting you know that I'm waiting to see what insurance has to say.
so
Yeah.
my question is, I know that we used it during this last power outage, but is this the one that's just only a couple years old that we got? Remember when Seamus left and we had that weird? It was like Seamus left and all the things happened that one morning, and I was like,
What kind of generator we?
and we decided then that we needed a
I
generator.
think that
Oh, no,
might be the
that's-
generator out
You're
back.
talking about
I
a
think
big
that's the
one
one
for the
here.
building.
Is that what it? Okay.
That's the building
yeah,
generator
that-
back
okay,
there. Yes,
okay.
that's the big
So
one.
this
for-
is older than that.
Yeah.
As far as I could
Okay.
find, that trailer's from around 01.
Okay.
I'm a moron, so I want to start from the beginning. This is for a new purchase.
It's to, so our current trailer, our portable generator trailer, that is to replace the engine and the generator unit. out here at Mr. Wrench.
It's a repair for the generator.
And-
Kind of
and you said
refurbishing
It
it.
might not last 12 hours.
We don't know. When you start running, we run again, we may not need to get this
Without the
year,
repair.
but we don't know.
Without the repair.
Yeah.
With the repair, it should last.
With repair, yeah. it will.
Gotcha. I heard even if we repaired it.
Oh. Sorry.
What's a new one?
That's different.
No, he's saying that if we run it now,
Don't know.
it may not last 12 hours.
Right.
Without the repair.
I would also be
I
interested, I guess, in understanding what a new one costs.
Yeah, I don't know what a new one would run.
I can look into it.
Probably at least double that. If not more.
Diesel or gas?
Diesel.
Maybe they'll total it and give us a new one. They do generators like cars.
And it's serviced and inspected twice a year.
Okay.
I know that you don't have any control, but you don't know when the insurance company's gonna let us know.
They have all the information, they're just getting back to us.
Yeah.
The coverage is one they pointed out to us because we've never used it, called equipment breakdown. And they said usually people forget it's there. There's no deductible, it's just an added benefit. So if something breaks down that's in a covered property, a lot of the times they'll pay for the repair. So they said essentially it's free money, so turn things in if you want to try. So if we're trying.
Let me grab my water.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Last thing I got's a quotation for the plow, from the street department. They got that new truck and they wanna put a plow on it. That'll give them, 2 plows at the street department, and buildings and ground will have a plow, the old plow on his truck. So we had 3 quotes. The one they wanted is for out of Gardner's Outdoor Power Equipment out of Goshen. It was for $12,1389. It's stainless steel, so it's gonna last a lot longer than the previous ones. And the one quote was a little bit cheaper, but it's not stainless steel. It was $11,145.89.
What was the first one?
$12,013.89.
So that's not that much higher for the
No.
stainless steel.
No, it's not.
Something
And,
that won't rust.
and it's gonna last. That's what he's recommended going with.
Well, it sounds like a no-brainer. I mean, the price is, I mean, what's the difference?
Oh,
Matt?
11,145, you know, it's less than $1,000. And then he had, the other quote was for 12,935, so it was a little more. But,
We don't have any.
we have, they have, 2 right now. One, they have the big huge Freightliner, which they want to use that real bad storms because that's a big truck to be driving. But they have 2 plows right now, and one of them came from the buildings and grounds, and they took that plow and put it on their street because I have 2 street guys, and they're to do all the plowing. In the past, we've, you know, everybody came in and helped and tried to help out, but these guys here, they just do it. Last run they did all the plowing themselves. But they thought if they have another plow for their trucks out there, that they give the building and ground plow back to him because he just does the parking lots and that around town and the pumpkin vine. So it's the older plow too.
Let's go for it.
When they replaced some of the blades last year, huh?
You think we need another one?
I think they need them because those guys do all the plowing and that. So, and they need a plow that's going to work and not fall apart. They replaced some parts on that the used one and they got it working, but it was in quite bad shape. I mean,
Where's the money gonna come out of?
it'd be out of streets, so I'm gonna be MVH fund. I don't know what they have there. Or,
I don't know, I haven't even looked at any of the quotes or something.
and I know since that conversation with me, you know, we just have to maybe get by with what they got this year.
Either come out of streets or CC, streets or edit fund.
That fun?
When we had our budget meeting, I asked about the edit fund And I said that we always appropriate $100,000, but we never use it. And I asked what we could use it for, and he said anything.
Okay.
So we used part of it for the BSNA Bennett's upgrade. We kind of earmarked part of it for that because it was something we weren't planning. And then earmarked part of it for the antenna quote, because that's what we talked about during the budget thing, if that's the route you still want to go. And then there'd be about 29,000 there. So we had talked about possibly the cranes if we needed to use it for the cranes.
And I think those guys could make it work another year if we had to, what they have out there.
Did we have anything in here?
I don't know, I just got these. I don't know if I sent these to you or not.
I'd like to wait till the next meeting. I mean,
What-
we're spending money left and right. I'd like to see
That's
it
fine.
rather than just approve a random number for.
How long is it available? Do we know that? Do they have them
They're
readily
available, they're
all-
available
all year
whenever.
round?
Yeah, they're
So
available.
this could come
While-
back up even in November.
And
or
while we're
something.
on this topic, I know the leaf back. We're getting closer to that than snowplow. Did we repair that last year? And it was
Yeah, we
working?
did. It's
Okay.
working, yeah.
Okay.
We
I couldn't
spent
remember.
like 26,000 on
Nice.
that,
It's a good
Mhm.
move right there.
so, and it's
Okay.
working.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe this comes back up later this year when
It's
you
fine.
understand where
ne-
things are at.
next meeting is fine, but I'd like
Yeah.
to see it before.
It's fair.
Just, I mean, we're spending money like it's not
Not
mine.
wrong. Got lots of big numbers right there.
Casey's got some stuff, and I think, well, yeah, that was on you, but yeah, the cellular antenna quote that you guys talked about last time. Or we talked at budget
Yep.
hearing and that,
Is this the meter reader?
Yeah.
yeah. When Jackson's here, if you guys got any questions on that.
I put the old quote in there too, so you could see the.
Yeah, but why are the quotes different? I noticed that the quotes are different. You've got,
I put the old one in there, like so you could see how much it went up, if you cared. The install went up 3,000, and then the device went up, I think 500.
So that was from 9/29/2025.
Yeah, he just gave us that one. It's I think that's when it expires.
That's last year.
26.
I'm reading.
He
one-
changed the expires date to the 26th,
Oh,
2026. I think he just updated the old quote with new numbers and then resent it.
So the old quote total was 42.5.
Yeah, that's why I put him in there because it's a little misleading. That 5,500 in the old quote is the annual fee, so you wouldn't actually be paying that. So it looks like they're similar, but that annual fee would still be incurred on I think it's February. That's what he said. So we're paying right now $3,800 for our annual fee for the software version of it, and it would go up to 5,000.
and would this be anything that IT oversees here, or is it all Jake, or who oversees these meters things, or the reader?
Probably a combination water department and probably IT will be involved in it.
Okay.
what's the savings on this, if we have this system? Can you explain that again?
The
You wanna?
big thing is right now is, let's say you have a stuck plunger in your toilet, your water's running, it's running through your meter. I will not know until I bill you the first of next month. So now you come into town with a $3,000 bill. Hey, I didn't use this water. Okay, now that's this whole thing. That's how we get these returns going in here. Okay, this new system, it is going to basically be live the whole time. It's going to update every 15 seconds, essentially. And it is going to tell me when you have consistent water running, if you have no water running, anything. So I can see down to the half gallon with this. I can see if you leave a sink on, if you have a toilet stuck. So every day it will update with, these meters are reading 0, so now we're making no money, we're not billing anyone. Or, hey, these are constantly reading, and they have constant water, but they have a leak somewhere. that's what it's going to show. Instead of having to wait till the next month, I can now see these the next morning before I leave work, and I can see them the same.
And they'll be like at the top of there'll be like notifications.
Yes,
Okay.
they will be notifications. There's parameters that Neptune can set up, even down to a tamperment. If someone was to ever remove the actual meter itself from the base, there's a magnet in there that spins, so everything is physically recorded. It's how we bill. It will send an alert when those are separated. So if anyone ever removes that to try to not be billed for water, that will not, it will send an alert that that connection has been broken. So, I mean,
So your cost savings is gonna be all the man hours in like Sally's hours and their hours doing the calculations as well.
And can it read, like, if we aren't billing certain ones right now, it'll catch that right away quicker?
it'll let me know as soon as I'm assuming there probably have to be a whole test read process for the parameters, but it'll show me, hey, we have a reading of 0 from this meter. There's something up. The base could be clogged, a part could be broken off in the base, whatever. Hey, we need to go change that, make sure that's flowing, and then we'll put out a correct.
So if we have record of like however many pumps or however many readers or meters, that should match to what's being
Yes,
beamed.
it should match the size, the serial number, and it should measure down to basically the half gallon that the average urinal would flushes.
And every house right now has meters on that can be read.
Yes, every house that is hooked up to city water should have a meter.
So this is to save the townspeople if they got something stuck. This is to save the town on people hours, to be politically correct, on figuring this out, is, as far as trying to figure it out.
This pretty much saves us so like we'll use this past month, for example. We just billed, Sally sent us within the first day, we have issues with 12 meters, whether they're reading 0, reading too high, any of that. So now these have accumulated somewhere in the past 30 days. It's going to alert me either the same day or the next day. Hey, I need to go out here. This is reading 0. I need to change this, need to rebuild the base, whatever I need to do. So that way that's
So in that instance, you'd lose a day of revenue instead of a month. They also quoted us originally to do 2 meters.
Like it's tomorrow.
Well, 2 antennas, right?
Yeah. But with the South Tower, we can cover pretty much everything, but it won't catch like the school or KZ. So they thought they would sell us another one, and I said that we didn't want to spend that extra money. They make meters now that are cellular. So now that we're redoing water, we would like to put in there, hey, if you're outside the town limits and you want our service, you need a cellular meter, and it's going to cost you an extra $12 a month because that's what it costs us. And those would report back the same way. That was our thought process, instead of spending another $22,000 on another antenna.
Makes sense. I like the idea.
Yeah, you would put the burden on people that are outside the town limits and not spend the $22,000 of Indiana taxpayer money. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that was our thought. We would like to put that in the new water because this is the year to redo water. And so, yeah, if you're outside and you need a meter, that's, if you can't be read by this tower meter, especially, that's your option. That's what we thought would be the best option.
It would, the school, I think KZ with the 2 outside that limit.
And this is coming out of that edit fund you're talking about?
Yeah, that was Greg's recommendation.
And it's
40,500 for this installation and the hardware, and then Bennett would have to get him a SIM card, which
Once we have
$10-12 a month for another line.
You like it?
Yeah.
You like it, Nate?
That's a lot of money, but it sounds like it be a big benefit, right?
I've gotten to watch this. Yep, they flush their toilets 3 times today. I wouldn't know unless I go out in my truck and then I have to sit there and hold the antenna and then hope it connects and interrogate it. and then I gotta sit and wait for it to complete the list of going back for 3 months, and then I can sit there and then I can go through the data log. I'm coming to the office every day with this, like, yep, that's not working, that's constantly running water, whatever.
What would this mean for like our adjustments? Would we change policy as far as like you get an adjustment a year? Is that what our policy is right now?
I don't know that you would change it.
You wouldn't change it.
We would
okay.
just find them sooner. We probably wouldn't have
Okay.
as
Big
The
ones.
adjustments
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah,
be as
it wouldn't be as
large.
big. Yeah.
Plus the ones that aren't paying, we
Yeah.
catch those quicker too.
Right now, somebody comes in after a month and they go, I don't have a problem here, why is my bill so high? And then they're gonna argue with you and they're gonna come in front of you and say, hey, I want you guys to forgive this amount. We've done that in the past. This way, we're gonna catch it right away.
Does this
Or-
put an added burden on the clerk's office as far as,
No, from Sally and I's point of view, it would be
Less.
less.
Okay.
So like we found location 0, it was reading 0. It was, I think it's a hotel, or not a hotel,
It's,
apartment building.
so-
Reading 0, special meter. So trying to figure out, it's taken, there were other ones as well. So the first month it didn't get looked at. Second month it did finally get looked at because there's no man hours to do it. Then they find out what the problem is, order a meter. It's gonna be 2 months till we get a,
Sometimes we
Yeah.
get lucky, hey, we'll have it to you in 2 weeks, and then I think the ones we've waited on meters before is 6 or 7 months.
so we're hoping that, but in that one in particular, we're losing probably thousands of dollars in revenue a month. Because they're 0, because of the amount of money I think Sally was thinking, I don't know, because she knows the numbers now, not me, but say 2,000 to 3,000 is, we're probably losing 2,000 to 3,000 a month
Cisco
there.
can bill me without reading my meter, why can't we bill?
Good point, yeah. So right now,
For real?
we're waiting on that meter to come until we can, I mean, we just can't until it gets here.
They're like, this is our estimate.
So those are the things we're hoping to
Screw it up later.
alleviate.
I like it that he's gonna be able to tell me how many times I flush my toilet per day. I think it's pretty awesome.
I know.
Maybe we can surcharge you when you flush too much.
There is,
I made testing.
there is the flip side where there is a
Push the cost on.
customer side to the portal. I didn't include it because I think it's an extra $3,000 a month. Everybody can sign up and see their own. They can get alerts themselves and manage, like, but I didn't know that it would be beneficial
3,000 a month?
a year.
Oh, a
Sorry.
year.
For the, I think it's what for the customer side, but if nobody uses it, I didn't know that it would be worth it, so I didn't include it,
I
but I
don't know if
would
there's
tell you.
that many people in town. I mean,
You might see
Maybe
it
the
with more of the, I was
businesses,
gonna say the
yeah.
hotels and stuff.
may
Yeah.
want. So this is coming out of what funds?
This would come out of seed it, edit, whatever it's called now.
How much money do we have in there?
We have 100,000 appropriated in that line item.
And we can use it for,
He said anything to benefit the town. It's infrastructure line,
it has to be infrastructure.
like capital asset, like something that lasts longer than 4 to 5 years, not something we are just going to buy regularly.
We're
Gotcha.
looking to
Okay.
take that out of there and the cranes out of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Those two big items.
I'd make a motion to accept this town reader quote for $40,500.
That's not the number I got.
Oh,
What do you have?
40,500.
I got 42.
that's the
that's
old
the
one.
There's
old
two
one.
different ones. They're like in line.
Go ahead. I'm not gonna second it without seeing it.
Oh, I'll second it. I seen it.
Great. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Casey's got a,
Casey's turn.
we can go after Casey.
Casey,
You go,
you're up.
Go Casey.
Go.
All right.
He's running fast too. Listen, sorry. You're my favorite person, and keep it moving.
While I was sitting there, to recap on that TIF, there may be a way to spend water money in the future and a possible water main loop for Jackson and Matt. And then Jake and I have been texting. We got 2 pump stations down there that at some point both of those those are going to need some
Down
TLC.
here?
So
Yeah.
and those TIF areas. So anyway, why I'm here tonight though is for 4 action items and 1 update on the budget. I'll go through the 4 action items, and then I will give you an update on the budget. I'll go through these efficiently as possible, but I can come back and answer questions as needed. The first one is pay application number 12, and all of these are relating to the wastewater treatment plant. This is project A for the wastewater treatment plant. This is actually pay application number 12. It puts them about 30 to 40% through the project. And that project amount is for $1,011,465. And of course, you're still holding retainage. So we would recommend approval for pay application number 12. Do you want me to go through all of them, or do you want to do them one at a time?
So
Go
moved
through
on that one.
Second. I guess. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Thank you. The next item, you've actually already approved this. This was work allowance number 4. I think this was at a June meeting. I just put it in the agenda so I could get this to get signed with the other items. This was for the additional siding and some of those items that we approved at the June meeting. So this has already been approved by council. I just need to have this signed with the other documents. That's work allowance number 4.
Yep.
Work allowance number 5, and again, work allowances don't increase the contract amount, but we look at these individually. If you see work allowance number 5, there on the title, on the screen, still waiting for that. That total is for $30,451. That includes, the majority of that is in the administration and headworks building. At the administration building, we're upgrading the electrical. This captures some additional improvements we're making at the administration building in the electrical room that wasn't included as part of the project to facilitate the construction. And then we're also changing the door stops. Those are overhead door stops instead of the ones behind the wall. And then we have some additional electrical. So that total is for $30,451.15. That's work allowance number 5.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
The next one's a little bit more detailed. This is actually a change order. This is actually change order number 1. Just to hit it, probably the I don't know if bad's the right word, but the consideration here is it's extending the time frame, but we're actually getting some deducts in the contract without changing the contract amount. So if you look at the title sheet, I'll go through that real quick as Bennett pulls it up. So this is change order number 1. There's basically 3 parts of this. The first one, you can see there's a total deduct that we're showing here of $393,124.25. Now,
the same document?
no, it's a different document.
3.1.
So that's that includes some deducts that we worked with the contractor, or the contractor proposed on the tank, the new tank, as well as some additions that we added or changes as part of that. And then because we're extending the time, there's also some money in there for general conditions. With that, the proposed deduct there is for $393,000. What we're proposing is to not deduct the contract amount, but basically take that amount and put it into your allowance. So that's available for more of these allowances as we work through the project with Jake and Terry. The other part about this is if you go to number 2, is they're actually asking for an extension of time from 4 months. Right now, the deadline is first week of April. With this, they're asking to extend the substantial completion to the first week of August, mainly for 2 reasons. The big reason is the main equipment that we're getting for the project. We were hoping to get that in October or November this year. We're actually scheduled not to get that until February or March. A lot of that work can't be completed until it's there. And then as you can see with the allowance, we've added quite a bit of work to their project.
So that this change order would extend the amount or the time frame to August. The other thing the equipment provider has proposed with this change order, because it's delayed 3 to 4 months, they're actually offering to extend the warranty to 2 years. So instead of 1 year, it would be 2 years. That's change order number 1.
I have a question. Does extending the time do anything at all to our grant or loan?
In my opinion, no. When you first do it, you have 2 years, but when you give them a change order, SRF will approve that time extension. Very rarely do we get these done in the 24 months from closing.
I could see how that could be true.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you consider that, why don't we just flip, if you once you flip to this next one before you approve that change order, because this allowance budget summary sheet that should be in your packet.
It's gonna be 3.
Yeah. No, get rid of that.
3.11.
Should be 2 sheets to that. Yeah. Yeah. So this is just real quick. As always, we try to make sure we review this every 2 weeks with Jake and Terry and the contractor. I'll try to bring you snapshots. But if you look at go to the first sheet, please. If you go to the first sheet, please, if you would execute work allowance 5, which you did in this change order, if you go down to the bottom, basically the amount of right now we're running under budget about $574,000. So I think that's good, but we do have some other items that we're looking to use that allowance on. If you go to the next sheet, I've explained this many times, but I think I'll just give me 2 minutes and I'll explain this. This sheet just explains when we talk about these projects, how it doesn't affect the rates that you've already done in your financial. So if you look at this sheet, that you should have there in front of you. So basically you had a bonds for 18.7 million. You see that at the top? You got a grant for 3 million. So your total package, it was $21.7 million. Okay. Of that 21.7, if you go to column B, those are the contracts that you had to implement this project. You had the engineering, you had the cost of issuance, and then the bold ones are construction. You got a construction contingency of 948. You have the project A of 18 million, the lift station of 930. Right now, if you look at that in orange, we're running under budget. You can see in the orange. So right now, even if we would spend all of that 548, we would still have 959,000 left to spend as part of this project. Okay. So when we're talking about the allowances, the change orders, as long as we don't go over that amount, we don't get into that green that is contingency money that you've already have. You already have that in your amount. It's already in your rate. So come next spring, Jake and Terry and I'll come back to you with possible ways to use that money for equipment or projects.
Yeah, but what if we don't need any of that? So you have this extra money. What do you do with it?
So great question. We've got dozens of these that we've worked on the last 5 years, and half a dozen now I'm working on. Almost every time, I think you can take that money and buy off how much you're paying the loan off for. I've never had anybody do that, because all you're doing is cutting it down from 20 years to 18 years. Almost every one of these, 100% of the times I've worked on, they have found ways to spend the money. Because there's always something to do. I mean, you were just talking about a generator that you needed to have. So,
and it's 0% interest. However,
yeah,
you might be able to buy the rate down with it.
Right.
How do you buy the rate down on 0%?
So when that time comes, that's the thing that Jake and I and Terry and I are already brainstorming. We'll come to you in the spring when we know where the treatment plant's going to be, and we'll give you the list of items for consideration, estimated budget, so you can say, yes, we want to do this, yes, we want to do that, no, we don't. Jake and Terry can explain to you, and we'll put a little table together so you can see what the benefit is. That's typically what we would do.
Assuming never seen that money not spent. Ever.
I haven't. I'm sure other.
And you probably have done hundreds of these.
I haven't done 100, but I'm just saying in the last 10 years, we've always tried to find a way to use the money, and the ones I'm working on now, they're working on ways to spend the money. I have one project that there was 2 closings. The total closing was 64 million. They ended up having almost 5 million left over between projects coming in under budget, the contingency that you have to put in, and then that contingency money's building interest. But you don't get all the interest. The government's not going to let you, but they're not going to give you money for 0% and then get interest on it, but some of that you'll get. So it's very typical that then we got to go back to SRF and say, here's how we want to spend that money, and they have to approve it. And it's not just going out and getting a quote on a truck, or it's not just doing a project. You got to go through the hoops to get SRF to approve it. So I know I tried to put this sheet together, so I probably won't do it again until the spring, but I at least wanted to let everybody know that's where that pot of money is at.
Nice. And what was the action item on this?
Change order number 1, you haven't approved yet.
Oh, we just need to approve
So
the change order.
you presented to do a deduct or to move, what's the change order do?
Change order,
read
change
the
order number
material.
1 is,
Extend it 120 days and give us 2 years warranty.
2 years warranty and transferring the deduct into the general work allowance.
Okay.
So I think if they just make a motion, change order number 1 as presented, it would capture all of those.
And do I need to submit these then, or do you?
The
guys-
change order, I'll submit it.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Casey, we didn't approve work allowance signature, did we?
Work allowance 5, I
Like
thought you
number 4?
approved that.
Didn't we have
Last
to approve
meeting.
something?
Last week.
Yeah.
We approved it, but do you need it signed? Do we have to approve a signature or no?
No.
No, okay.
Just need to sign.
Sorry, it's a long list, but I tried to go through it quickly as possible.
Thank you for hanging in there.
I'm
for
gonna
3
get it
hours.
right.
How quick was your meeting when I was gone?
It was pretty quick.
You were pretty quick last week.
We're
but
like
now-
3 hours on this thing.
I'm very hungry.
I am too.
This is nothing compared to Josh days, guys.
I mean, it's
that's
true.
Nothing.
It's
Nine,
true.
9:30.
And I'd like to say, working with DLG's been great. They're really easy to work with, not out there, so doing a good job for us.
Never heard that before.
Well, I have one thing for you. I'm gonna hold off on the backup stuff right now. But to make you feel a little better about the backup, if we look at a 5-year plan, my solution's hopefully gonna save us about $18,000 from our current backup solution. So, but I'll bring more of that, work with Kurt's office, and I'll bring more of that next meeting. Right now, I just have our Rever software to be renewed. That is where we keep all of our archive data and all of that stuff. So they gave us a proposal for a 3-year contract for $14,400, and that would be billed annually at $4,800, and that would be a reduction of $200 a year.
I love the discount. Kurt, is there any reason we shouldn't do a 3-year?
No, the only reason you can't, and you can as long as one of your terms is at least 3 years. You just can't sign a contract for more than the length of the person who has the longest term. So you couldn't sign a 5-year
I
contract.
was not expecting that answer.
Oh.
But that's a great answer.
Yeah, that's a crazy
Term
statute.
that's left or total term of
Term, meaning it's based on the term of the council members. So if all of you only had a 2-year term, for instance, that's the longest the contract.
okay.
The idea is to not bind a new council with people do this with town managers, for instance. They'll want to sign a 5-year contract, or with the lawyer, which you can't do, or the engineer, to bind another council into the future on their way out. And I know that's not what you're
I mean, we
asking.
kind of did that with the wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah, well, that's different. That is a permissible one. But something like this, or engineer, attorney, that
Okay.
you can't do. Yeah, you got it. That's a good way to look at it.
So I'm seeking approval for
So the answer is
this
you're okay.
quote from Rever and to allow Chris to sign it. Once that meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
All right, so thank you.
Easy.
Way to go, man. It's 2 in a row.
Anything else on this list?
I'm done.
Tad?
Claims totaling $72,341.23.
I seriously can't find those.
At the top.
Oh, sometimes it sorts them strange. You might have to click the.
Well,
Oh,
I just
there it is.
have
It
to-
just came on. It just came up.
Gateway, you've already done that, right? This is, you jumped ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, before I forget, because I had a note on my agenda about Gateway. No worries, but make sure they're not on E-Verify. They should sign an E-Verify. They're not, at least I couldn't find them on the system. Neptune. No, our Gateway.
Utility.
Nugent. Utility support. DBA Utility Supply Company. I don't know.
Thanks.
No.
Just something to keep in mind. You know, you got, if you need help, obviously, but I think you got our standard affidavit, right?
Yeah, I mean they're sole source supply.
I couldn't find them though on E-Verify, so.
Huh.
They're not, doesn't seem to be enrolled, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. Just,
Okay.
yeah, I get it. I just get them to sign one of those affidavits if you can, for your records. I wouldn't change anything else, but yeah. That was just for you, Ted.
Okay.
Why do we, I know there's a reason. We have 3 different bills from the cleaning company
Oh,
for
yeah,
each billing cycle.
3 different. Hold on, let me pull it up.
It's that way every time. I can't believe how much we pay them.
We have two. I have 2 total bills in there. It's for 2 2-week periods. And it splits it by.
It
When
looks
it-
like it's split 3 ways.
Yeah, when it crosses over to the general ledger, it splits it into the ledger lines. So there's probably 6 lines, but it's 2 bills.
What are we paying them
It's
a week?
paid for out of fire, wherever he's being
Okay.
cleaned. Fire, parks, and town hall.
I think that's every other week.
And I think, yeah. I feel like some people have asked me if we could look into, you would like to look into renegotiating or changing anything still, or
They cleaned the fire department.
What's the quality?
Are you happy with it?
You're hesitating.
It's as good as I.
The weight room is never cleaned.
Okay.
They won't do the weight room.
Gary?
I have other people that love.
So is it 3,000 a month? We pay them.
1,500 every 2 weeks. It's $750 a week. Yeah, for standard. It used to be more because we were doing ball diamonds and stuff, but they decided they didn't want them. They would do it themselves.
It's up, yeah, it's, here in the soccer fields. They do. I mean, it's,
$3,000 for that.
try and find somebody to come in and do that.
I mean, I'm just sitting here
Every,
thinking
they come in
myself.
every day.
We've had
There you
people.
go.
that come in.
Like some-
Well, what do you mean by try to find somebody? Try to find somebody for the price, or try to find somebody to do it at all?
Someone trying to do it all.
Do it
That's the
all.
problem. I had people come in and, we had hired people and we'd work for a few months and they leave. The last guy just dropped the keys on the desk and left. So I don't know.
He was cleaning.
And
I
the
was
other
paying for a
company
while.
that quoted us was substantially higher.
There were a lot higher people quoted us other, I had other companies come in and these were the cheapest ones.
That's why I was. I knew this thing that went through.
You know, the fire department, they don't want to clean it, they can get somebody else to clean it. They used to have people up there clean it, but they don't anymore. So, I mean, they want, but if he wants to do it on his own, that's fine, I'll take him off. I'm sure they'll be glad to stop cleaning up there.
The problem is it's specifically stated in the contract, so I don't know how we do that.
Amend it.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept the claims as presented.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
The only other thing I had was insurance. When we had our insurance meeting, they got back with us and gave us, because we didn't talk about deductibles, right? The cost savings, just
No.
property deductible. They noted that it's pretty low, as so is our auto deductible. Our auto deductible is $500. We can probably afford more if we crash something. So theoretically, they total a $500,000 truck and we pay a $500 deductible and we get a new one. So they just pointed out that they don't know if we ever looked at it. So if we were to increase our auto deductible to $5,000, we'd save $10,000 in premium. We could afford that. I think we could afford that. So that sounded good. The other part was if we increased our property deductible to $10,000, I think it's currently $2,000, we'd save $4,900
Annually.
off a premium annually. Yeah. You could increase it to 25,000 and save 9,000, but I think, like Chris pointed out, I don't
The
know.
numbers don't add up on that.
Yeah. So if we were to so because they're doing the renewal right now, so if they were to requote it with a auto deductible at 5,000, property at 10, it would effectively save 15,000 in premium.
But we would have to go without any crashes or problems within the next 2 years.
Because
With the way it works.
because of the injury on the pumpkin vine, that there was a settlement, it increased our premium from around 110 to 130,000 annually. He said that this is the third year, so it will fall off for next year, so that won't affect it as of next year. So this would take care of part of that, plus next year it might go down even more. So they were just trying to see what they could do to help us save.
Is that something that you guys do, or is that something that's required from here to change your deductibles? Like, how does that work?
Bring it in front of you guys to decide, because you're the governing body. I'm not, so we want you guys your input to see if you want to do it or not.
Because we'll tell them, and they're going to give us a quote, and you'll have to accept the quote, essentially.
So if my math, and sorry, I'm like foggy, but if my math is correct, if we have an incident, well, I mean, if we have more than one incident, we're going to be paying more than, but still, if we don't have an incident, or if we have an incident, we're going to be washing even. If we have one incident, we'll wash even with savings and insurance in a year, 1 year.
Well, you talk about like a car crash?
Yeah. So like, because basically we'll
pay the first 5,000 if it's after that.
But we're saving how much? We're saving 10. So.
And it's the reverse on the other.
And so if we have one of each, we would wash even.
Or you can keep it the same, and there's any more, with just a squad car, the front bumpers are probably $2,000 anymore. I mean, when I was a sheriff,
I think that's
Raccoon
the
had
last crash we had.
a Charger, that's $1,800 for the front end, so.
I kind of like the idea of saving money, but
They just presented it because with that increase due to the claim.
I mean, we go higher deductible this year, and if it really does drop off next year, we could drop the deductible if we wanted.
there you go.
Right, that's true. And they said that this is anything above these deductibles, it doesn't benefit you. This is the best benefit. So like the rate you would get decreases after that. So if you wanted to see a 5,000 and a 2,500, I mean, like this is the best benefit for those two.
What is the deductible they're proposing?
The best benefit for property is 10,000 on,
County's got 25,
and then the auto was 5,000. How much coverage does the county have though?
A lot.
Yeah, this would be 10,000 on a $25 million coverage umbrella. Right, that's what I was thinking.
You need action on
Yeah,
it.
would like to have a motion for you guys to this work, change it.
Or if you say, when they quote us at 5 and 10. Because ultimately you'll approve it in the final.
So I make a motion to have them quote us at $5,000 deductible for auto and a $10,000 deductible for property.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
That's a good decision.
Good
We
grief.
don't think that is.
No, you don't.
Where to go, Nick? Saving us some money, man.
Not whatsoever.
Hey, you the man.
Carrie, anything else?
I don't care what the white says.
I'm finished.
Goodness. No,
This is when you normally say, well, I have 3 things.
I do.
I
No,
figured.
no, I don't.
I actually do have one other thing.
Oh, gosh.
Because it's gonna cost money, so I should probably ask for the ordinance. I need to have Kurt draft an ordinance to create a pumpkin vine gift fund. Because the Pumpkin Vine Association is gonna give us money for the repairs, but we have to have a fund to keep it in that's separate from everything else.
So moved.
Second.
The motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
And you'll remind me.
Need that tomorrow.
Anything else for the good of the
I
order?
mean, it's only 7:30. Let's crank
Oh
it up.
my gosh, it
Terry
feels
had
so
me going
late.
full speed at 10 to 8 this morning.
I was gonna comment on Travis's report. I don't know if you guys read the reports
No.
at the very top,
Yes,
Oh.
I did.
I thought, okay.
like department reports.
Yes.
So, Jake's is always the prettiest. Travis like broke down the hours that he spent on things, and I really, I think we can use that when we go to the state and ask for a 1% sales tax. Because I mean, he spent as much time sweeping streets, trash, and horse duty as what he did on everything. Like, he spent 36 hours on roads, 72 on sweeping, and 36 on trash and horse poo.
That's not the count, the time you spent on the pumpkin vine here recently too, getting that ready to be prepped
Yeah.
and sealed.
So he's got some good numbers on there, I think, and I like that. If the other departments
Well,
can in any way
I'm working with Bennett on this, the
break
IT
that
department.
down.
He's working on a new, form for them to use for their monthlies.
So
So we're in
it's-
the
yeah.
process of working on it.
I mean, the monthlies are looking better and better, but I just, my point was, I
Well, Bennett
like,
helped a couple of them with the, AI
oh,
module.
there you go. I like the numbers to be able to say, look, we really do like spend a lot of time on visitor related stuff.
One of the things is the form that I'm building is just gonna take a little bit of time to for the hour. So we should be able to have something like that.
I'm dying over here, man. 3 hours of sleep, that's it.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.